Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and on the horizon this week, we're going to have more than one. So, we're going to be talking about DC's brand new imprints. So, of those three, we got DC Ink, DC Zoom, and DC Black Label. Let's talk about the kiddie stuff first. Let's talk about DC Ink. So, DC Ink is supposed to be focused towards the young adult viewers. This is, first off, let me give you a heads up. I love all these ideas. I think that they're great, and I've been discussing these with people in random for a long time. I don't know how many times I've mentioned on the channel. I may have mentioned a couple times in the podcasts that I think that two big things that would help comic books out a lot. One of them is to do better labeling so that people can look at the comics and say, oh, volume 1, volume 2, volume 16. Oh, wait, this one's called a different title. I don't want to sit here and guess how to look at Green Lantern, all right? I don't want to have to sit there and start looking up a bunch of books to figure out. Look, I myself, I know which Green Lantern titles came first, second, cumulatively, simultaneously. I understand how those work because I've looked at them enough times, but a brand new reader is going to look at all these different titles and go, yeah, no, I'm not ready for comics, and leave. All right, so DC's got to find a much better way, not just DC, excuse me, comic books, period, Marvel, DC, everybody needs to find a better way to number their comic books. Done. And on top of that, they need to really separate their comic books. One, I need for Elseworlds comic books to be very clearly separated, okay, from the actual main continuity. Over in Marvel, if it's an Ultimates title, I need to know it's an Ultimates title. If it's a What If, it better say What If on the front. If this is not in the main continuity and not in the main Earth 616 universe, I don't want this creeping in with the rest of them where I look at this and I get confused, because in brand new comic book, even I will look at it and say, this doesn't fit with continuity at all. No, this is a retcon. What's going on here? Or, a major reboot. And then it turns out, no, there's actually a different universe. I don't want guesswork, okay? No, I want to be clearly labeled. So I know main continuity, not main continuity. That is partially being addressed here. They do have dedicated titles for the DC Ink young readers, which is a great thing. And we're going to get more into that as we go. So some of the titles that are already going to be, and most of this stuff will be available starting this fall. This is 2018, March of 2018. So yeah, we're a little ways off, but that's cool. That's cool, man. We're going to get them soon enough. So one of these titles is going to be Batman Gotham High. Dude, just the title alone, I am so hooked to that. I am so hooked with that idea. Melissa De La Cruz. I remember, I don't know who Alex and Eliza are. There's a book that she'd written or a comic that she'd done, whatever. But the Blue Bloods series, I do remember when I used to work in a bookstore that, yes, I used to remember seeing the Blue Bloods titles with her name on the top of it in the young adult section. Witches of East End sounds familiar. Maybe it's just Witches of Eastwick. I'm old. Deal with it. So either way, Gotham High, this is basically, as far as I'm concerned, if they make this anywhere near something to the effect of Harry Potter in the DC universe, I am sold. I will be reading and reviewing the heck out of those comic books. All these titles, for the most part, look pretty good. Moving on. Batman Nightwalker. This is going to be a graphic novel by Mary Lou. Did the Legend series. I have no idea what to expect from this, but Nightwalker sounds salacious, to say the least. Okay, but young adults, who knows? Who knows? I've seen some young... Twilight was in the young adult series, for crying out loud, all right? So Teen Titans is another title. Kami Garcia. I love that name, Kami. Sounds like the Japanese sickle. So she did The Beautiful and the Creatures series. No clue. But you're on Teen Titans, do a good job. Do a good job. Do Marv Wolfman and Mr. Perez. Do them justice, all right? Under the Moon, a Catwoman Tale by Lauren Miracle, spelled Miracle. I love that. I don't care if that's a real name or not. That's awesome. So she did Internet Girls series and Kissing Kate. Kissing Kate sounds familiar, but anyway, a Catwoman tale called Under the Moon. Done. Wonder Woman, Tempest Tossed. As long as Laurie Halsey Anderson, who did Speak in Chains, as long as there's no salad involved in that tossing, we're good. We're good. I'm being silly with this, but yeah. Anyway, so I also see Mira. There's going to be a, let's see, what is this? Daniel Page is going to be doing Mira. That, first off, this looks beautiful. I am so down for something that looks that gorgeous. On top of that, yeah, I love me some Aquaman tales, so I might center in on that. Now, let's look at DC Zoom. DC Zoom is going to be for all ages, meaning it's for the kiddies. It's going to be for the kiddies, but I will probably be reading a bunch of these. Why? Just listen to some of the titles alone. God forbid, just the descriptions. So, Batman Tales, Once Upon a Crime. Writer and artist Derek Fridolf and Dustin Young, who did they did the Batman and Little Gotham. Yeah, the Batman Little Gotham stuff. I remember the Little Gotham stuff. I never read them, but I seen them and I thought they were cute. You know, I skimmed through a couple of them and never covered them. But yeah, that is awesome. I love that. So Once Upon a Crime is going to be more of the Little Batman, apparently. Digging it. Absolutely digging it. Batman Overdrive, Shea Fontana. Now, I went into a little bit of depth reading up on this because it looks so good. This is going to be an origin story of, wait for it, the Batmobile. Why have we never done this before? So, Black Canary Ignite by Meg Cabot. Meg Cabot, she did the Princess Diaries series, all right? Very famous name. I'm positive she could pull this off, right? You got a little blonde girl who's going to discover her superpowers and try and find her place in the world. Mwah! All right? Just that you can't make a bad comic if that's your intent. So, done. Dear Justice League. That sounds awesome. Michael Northrop did the Tomb Quest series, and he is the guy who is going to be writing Dear Justice League. That sounds cool. That I'm digging that. Green Lantern Legacy. Thank you. There's finally going to be a Green Lantern series in this. Ming Lei. Probably messing up the name. Min Lei. Anyway, this person, sorry, I'm going to go gender neutral X here. Drawn Together. This person did Drawn Together. I have never watched Drawn Together. I think it's a TV series. I'm not sure. It could be a comic. I don't know what it is, but I have heard lots of good things about it. Just it doesn't seem like it's up my particular alley, but it's going to be Green Lantern. Super Sons. So we already know this. Ridley Pearson is going to be doing this. Ridley Pearson did the Kingdom Keepers series. Kingdom Keepers, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the Disney After Dark. So all the holographic Disney villains would come alive and start trying to take over the Magic Castle and all that stuff. And maybe I'm wrong on this, but so I don't want to get too in depth in that. But that's what I remember this being from, back in the day when I worked in the bookstore and I saw the children's section. I'm like, okay, oh, that looks cool. Okay, interesting. So in case somebody asks about it, I can recommend it as, this is what it's apparently about. Read the back covers. So, but this is the standard Super Sons title. We're going to, I think it was Tomasi who was doing, I don't remember, but either way, it was a standard DC writer who's been doing Super Sons. It is one of my all-time favorite comic books. Least off all-time favorite DC comic books. Absolutely love Super Sons. It's going to be ending soon at the time of this video, in a couple of issues. Anyway, what's actually happening is it's moving over to the all ages, the DC Zoom. So I'm glad it's still going to be alive. I will probably still read it. Plus, Kingdom Keepers, if it is what I'm thinking it is, Ridley Pearson. This is in the kids section, but there's some pretty heavy topics there. So it's not quite mature readers. It's not quite young adult, but sometimes that line is blurred between children's books and young adult. So Guardians of Ga'Hoole is considered young, one of the children's books. And there's a lot of death and killing in there. So Superman of Smallville, written by Art Baltazar. So you can't call yourself Art Baltazar and not be an artist. Sorry, dude. Anyway, and Franco. So they did Tiny Titans. Okay, so another one of the little Gotham things. Superman Smashes the Klan, and that's with a K. Klan. Gene Yang, who did Avatar: The Last Airbender series, and New Superman will be released as periodicals first, then collected. Superman Smashes the Klan. I guess this will be about way back in the day when Superman, the radio show, wound up giving away the secret codes that the Ku Klux Klan had set up and exposed their operation a lot. Yeah, that actually happened. So That's interesting because it's spelled like that. Okay, I'm interested. So after that, we have got DC's Black Label. Okay, so Brian Michael Bendis has been hired over at DC for a 3-year contract. If he keeps going at the way he's already at without his first story even being released as of the time of this video, dude, we're talking this guy's going to be his next contract is going to be the editor-in-chief or something, all right? Something he probably should have gotten in Marvel, all right? I'm sure he wouldn't have left if he'd gotten editor-in-chief, but who knows? The guy's got too many ideas to not be writing. Excuse me. Anyway, so this is going to be a like an Elseworlds, just not quite Elseworlds. It's hard to say. Are these all going to be in the same stories? No, they're not apparently, unless they say otherwise. So you never know with DC. You know what I'm saying? Like the Killing Joke was originally an Elseworlds title. And then fans loved it so much, like, oh yeah, no, we're going to actually put this into mainstream continuity. So Kingdom Come also, while it's not necessarily, that was one of the first, if not the first, Elseworlds comic. No, it wasn't. Sorry, Gotham by Gaslight was. But either way, this is the most beloved of the Elseworlds story, along with Killing Joke, and they want to bring this into continuity-ish, to say the very least, in the Justice Society comics. So I'm digging the idea they're going to do something else with this. Just label it as Elseworlds. Now, here's my thing. I want all of the Elseworlds, all of the stories that are not in the main DC continuity to be in this Black Label. That is probably, they could have just called it DC's Elseworlds. You know, like we already have the title, for crying out loud. But I'm good with it. Just make sure it's labeled. I've got no issues. So, you know, again, I don't want to read a title and have to wonder, is this in the continuity? This is just a one-shot? What is this? I don't get it, because even one-shot's going to be in the main continuity. So, the introduction to Bane was a one-shot that is in continuity. So, some of the titles that are already planned or even written. We're going to start off with Superman Year One. Frank Miller did Batman Year One. Well, now he's going to be doing Superman Year One. And art by John Romita Jr. Got nothing else to say about that. So, we were just talking about Batman, right? How about Batman Damned? Damn! So, written by Brian Azzarello and art by Lee Bermejo. Okay, I'm down. Apparently, this is also going to feature John Constantine in this story. I'm looking forward to it. Apparently, something happens on some unnamed bridge in Gotham. Cool. Another Batman story is Batman Last Night on Earth. And yes, I love how there's always that play on words. It's spelled Knight, K-N-I, like, you know, a knight in shining armor, or the Black Knight, as opposed to Blackest Night. So, but it could be in either way. But this is supposed to be the beginning of the last Batman story. So Batman the End, I'm down with that. And the way that this, apparently the solicit for this is, Batman wakes up in a desert next to the head of the Joker, the severed head of the Joker in a jar. Don't worry, guys, the head is still alive. What? So Batman has to figure out how he got the greatest detective ever, right? Here's your chance to prove it. The villains have taken over, and Batman has to figure out what his part was in allowing this to happen. So so we've already got other titles lined up after this, other stories in the same feature lined up after this. I'm all down for this. This sounds like waking up in the desert with the living, breathing, I guess, head of the Joker in a jar right next to you, and you've got no memory of what happened before. Wow. So, anyways, that is written by, in case there was any doubt this is going to be awesome, written and drawn, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Sorry, any more questions? All right. Wonder Woman, Historia, The Amazons, written by Kelly Sue DeConnick and art by Phil Jimenez. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing with this story as well. So this is going to be a history of the Amazons, from earliest times up until the moment that Steve Trevor lands on their crash lands, whatever, washes up on the shores of Themyscira. Cool. Can't wait to see it. Wonder Woman, another Wonder Woman story. Wonder Woman, Diana's Daughter. Now that's a working title. That's a working title. Diana's Daughter, written by Greg Rucka. Now, is this going to be Fury? Not sure. But what it is 20 years in the future. So Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons, is in the past. But Wonder Woman Diana's Daughter, working title, is set 20 years in the future. This young woman, she learns or realizes, not sure yet, that she is Wonder Woman's daughter, apparently, and she's got to renew her heritage. So this sounds like New Avengers, Young Avengers, excuse me. The comic book Young Avengers was I can't remember if it was the cartoon, the animated movie was called Young Avengers or New Avengers. Either way, that one, where Thora, it is supposed to be Thora, or Thor Girl, is actually the daughter of Thor, and she wins the inheritance of the hammer. Even if they just copy it and milk that original story, and eventually she gets the lasso, it will still be a good story. I'm pretty sure it will be. Plus, Kelly Sue McCormick, Greg Rucka, he's known for being pretty good at this stuff. So I'm down for at least giving it a shot. The last one that I see, the other history of the DC universe, written by John Ridley. Now, written by John Ridley, I don't know if that means that there is no artist, so this is going to be a novella or a full-on series of novels, or if this is going to be like a periodical release. I think this is supposed to be a periodical release at first. Either way, I don't know if there's going to be any art with this. But John Ridley is responsible for 12 Years as a Slave, and Americana, I think the other one was called also. This is going to focus on the minority heroes. So Black Lightning will be one of those characters. Kara, Supergirl, she's going to be one of those characters. So any minority character is going to be up for grabs to be focused on here. And it's not necessarily about being a superhero, but finding yourself. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of SJW comments about it. Sometimes you can't help those little, skinny little nerd bullies, right? Whatever. Have fun bashing whatever you want to bash, right? And they're going to blame Bendis for this also, I'm sure of it. Either way, don't care. This is going to be pretty impressive. So again, I'm just going to start off with the Superman Year One. So you're going to bring in some Frank Miller? I'm good. I am excited that DC is going to separate their Elseworlds, their standalones from their majors. So if you see Black Label on there, or Zoom, or Ink, we're good. You know where you lie here. And this is, just the idea, like Bendis knows this stuff from way back. He was one of the first guys to be writing on, if not the first guy, to be writing on the Max series, right? And Marvel has done a bunch of different series like Max, and they just never stuck with it. Remember the Marvel Knights series, all that stuff. They should have stuck with that, and it's a shame they didn't. It's a really good working model. The problem is, see, I'm announcing all of this stuff now, but DC actually announced this stuff more than a month ago. So why am I so late on this? Because I didn't see it. Maybe I saw something and it was a brief little thing, like whatever, but now they've actually got a full-page ad in the back of the comic books. Dude, here's the thing. DC Comics, this is a letter directly to you. I am a college graduate not just from electrical engineering, where I've done technical writing, so I'm really good at transcribing writing, even from the electrical sense to normal. But more than that, DC, I am also a college graduate for a business degree with a specialty and continuing education in marketing. So yes, I am totally giving you this as my sales pitch. I will market the heck out of your stuff. Now, let's be realistic. DC is probably never going to see this, and I'm probably not going to get that job, but just a cute little funny resume thing. But either way, yeah, DC needs to hire, they can hire me if they want, but DC needs to hire a really good marketing team to do press releases to begin with. I haven't seen too much with the press releases. What they're doing local stuff? No. They've got to push that a lot better, and they need much better public relations. And it's good they're at least doing it in the comic books. I mean, at the very least, hello, why would you not have done it in the comic books? You don't have to give exclusives to people unless they're actually going to seriously promote the heck out of it. Perhaps consider giving them a budget petty cash in order to allow them to promote it. Why not? There's several channels bigger than my channel who could do that, but DC has got to start promoting this better and putting the word out there. Consider actually doing something with the comic book stores, the LCSs, man, because just it needs to be better than this, all right? The word has to get out there a lot better than this. But this is a really great idea. This is one of the better ideas that I've seen from the DC Comics empire as of late. I just need to actually see it in existence. How something this fantastic could have gone more than a month under the umbrella of, like I don't see it happening. No, not cool. Not cool. Anyway, great idea. I'm glad that DC is doing it. Call me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.